I think just execution. Obviously, we were able to run the football. That was big. That's a really good defensive line, and the O-line stepped up and we were able to run it down there. And we found a way to get in the end zone. And when you get in the end zone, you get points on the board. Now it's about cleaning up the turnovers. I think if we can do that, we can start hitting our stride.
It looked like Collins either punched you or grabbed your throat on that play. Can you tell us what happened? And it did seem to kind of fire you up even more.
I'm hoping that he didn't intentionally. I don't think he really intentionally tried to hit me in the throat. I think he was trying to just push me in the chest there, and he's taller than me. So I threw the pick. I don't know if I was fired up from that or if I was fired up. I threw my second pick, and it kind of hurt our defense there in that situation. And so we continue to just make strides in the right direction, but at the same time, we make these mistakes, especially me. And so we're winning football games, which is awesome, but we're going to try to continue to get better.
When you, on that same vein, when you ran for the touchdown, were you still kind of feeling that fired up and you kind of seek the contact?
No, I actually was not trying to lower my shoulder. I was trying to absorb the hit because I knew I was going to be right there in the end zone. And that dad bod, man, just had enough weight on me where he went down. So it wasn't like I was necessarily trying to seek out contact. I was trying to absorb it and get in the end zone, and just ended up looking good for me.
When was the last time you were able to lower your shoulder?
The last time I lowered my shoulder was against Iowa State, and I had an AC sprain, and then Iowa State beat me by 56 points. So I've stayed away from that.
Did the dad bod help you on the scramble down the sideline?
Yeah, it was. I was stopping and was gonna try to just get the first down, and I haven't seen the play, but the dude either overran or kind of got a little bit of a block there, and so once I got on the sideline, it opened up, and I was able to get down there, and I thought about cutting it back, but I'll save that for the playoffs, and then right now I'm going to just continue to run out of bounds. Yeah, I think it's just you get the best of the best, and that prepares you for the playoffs. I think that's the biggest thing. Is it's obviously fun to win and score a lot of points, but whenever you play these high tense moments against the great teams in the NFL, you see where you're at, and we were able to find ways to get a win today as our defense just continues to play special, honestly, and offensively we're able to run the ball and find a way to get in the end zone. But I think we can get so much better, and so we're going to continue to work at that and try to continue to get better as the season goes on.
Patrick, you played against, I know you don't do a lot against the ones during the week, but Chris Roll and Wallace has not been the ones I see played against him in practice. What have you seen?
He's a good football player. He's been like that since training camp, and you can see it. Some guys just have it. You can see it from day one, and he's gotten better and better. You can tell he really listens to Spags, to Coach Merritt, to all the coaches and the players. And so he sits there and he listens to Trent talk, and he's gotten better and better each and every week. And he stepped up today, and whenever his number was called, and I think it was 2 rookies got interceptions, if I'm right. So it was cool to see those guys get in the game and make plays.
Patrick, you guys are 6-0. Go ahead. You guys are 6-0, but nothing seems like it's come easily for you all. Is that frustrating, or does it make it that much more rewarding when you're able to find different ways to win?
I don't want to say it doesn't come easily because we're winning games against good teams by a good amount of points, and that's as easy as it. I mean, that's easy for the NFL, but I just don't think it's normal for what you've seen from us because there's not a lot of passing touchdowns. There's been a lot of turnovers, especially by me. And so I think it's just showing the versatility of our team. It's not just about me. It's not just about the stats and the light show and stuff like that. It's about playing team football. And I believe that if we continue to work, we'll get better offensively, throwing the ball down the field. But until then, it's nice to know that we have a great running game. We got a great defense. And we're able to execute whenever the time comes to win football games.
Patrick, the interceptions, any common threads there from your perspective?
The first one, the guy was open. Jody was open on the slant. It was going to be a catch and tackle, trying to just gain some back because we were in second and long. D-line made a good play. He got his hands up, knocked it up in there, and made a pick. And then the second one was just trying to go to my matchup with Xavier, and obviously you saw the feet got tangled up there, and he ended up losing his balance and falling down, and their guy made a good play. I mean, I felt like in the interceptions I was going to the right direction in the right spot. Just you get unlucky sometimes, but I gotta still clean it up, and that's stuff I have to work on. There's too many interceptions spots, and so in order for us to even take another step, it's going to be about me taking care of the football, scoring those touchdowns in the red zone like we did today, and then letting our defense really eat and letting Spags be Spags.
It seemed pretty chippy overall today in a lot of ways. I wonder if on the touchdown it looked like you had something to say. Are we going to hear you on mic'd up with you woke up the wrong gentleman?
I think I just said, I hope I score a touchdown. So it was, I got pretty hyped up there just because it was fourth down and got in the end zone in a big moment. But I don't remember exactly.
How similar was that to the
Similar emotion, a different play, but a similar emotion just based off how they guard the motions. And I wish when I look back on it, because I kind of threw it, and then my next read was coming across the field. I think he was wide open. So he slipped, and he was going to be open. And
Thank you to our fans for being here amongst the red. We brought some more red, and those guys were great. Overall, I thought it was just a good team performance. There were a lot of good things that happened on the defensive side, the offensive side, special teams. Offensively, 184 yards rushing. I mean, who would think of Pat Mahomes and talking about his runs, but he had a couple nice ones. But, you know, all three running backs did a heck of a job there, I thought. The third downs were great. Nags had a great plan, I thought, for these guys as we went forward, 8 for 14 on third down. The red zone, we were better there than what we've been with 4 out of 5 happening there. Scores, that last drive, just bearing down, putting the hammer down on that was important. That was physical. None of this can take place without the offensive linemen on the offensive side. So, and then getting McCole involved, both on special teams and on the offensive side, was great. And then I mentioned Kareem, but 78 yards and 22 carries. He's a beast in there. So, as were the other guys. Defensively, I thought we just played great football and 3 picks, 3 turnovers against real good offense there. And in some area categories, I mean, they were first in the National Football League. That led to 14 points. So 3 turnovers, 14 points, great thing. Justin Reed is just playing like an all-pro, which he is in our mind. So, but he came out and had the 8 tackles, and again leading the team in tackles and an interception, along with Wallace and Hicks, 2 young guys contributing in their third downs, 2 for 11 again against a good offensive team. And the special teams, Ariza, I mean, you got to take your hat off to him with the field position part of it. It's so important in this league. So he did a nice job. He was back in California, so he was using all that air out there. Anyways, with that, time's yours. You talked about the better play in the red zone, were you using anyone to put your finger on there?
No, I mean, we did. The place we did well was on no penalty. So, I mean, that ends up being important when you get down in there and you don't take anything away from yourself. And that's kind of hurt us, the last few games. But it was a great scheme. It was schemes that we used in there. It was, the guys executed well in there. So all around it was good.
Andy, you guys had only the 2 interceptions all season before today. Each of them seemed to have its own little story to it. Justin seemed to do that really well. And the drop off on the Wallace interception into the end zone. I wonder if you could just elaborate on what enabled.
Yeah, well, Spags does a great job of with the different schemes, the different personnel groups. I mean, you think about this now, the 2 rookies being able to jump in on this thing and being a part of it, and then putting them in position where, and them doing it to make plays. But he's the best in the business of what he does, and he did a great job with the scheme part of it. And the players love all that stuff. They all get to be a part of it and contribute.
And I don't know if you would have seen it, but it looked like Patrick got literally punched in the throat on that interception. Did you see? He's always fired up. But did you see any change in his demeanor after that?
Yeah, you probably notice his voice isn't very. No, I didn't see anything. I didn't see.
Because of injuries, you guys had to change your stripes a little bit, you bumped up on a run game. When that happens, is that a challenge to kind of enjoy a little bit, or is it frustrating?
Yeah, listen, I mean, you're going against good coaches, good players, 2 good football teams that have a history together. So Kyle does a great job with his staff and their players. And so you love that part of it. You love the competition part. As far as the run game, pass game, you're going to do what's working and try to mix it a little bit to keep them off balance. But that's a tough group. At 54, it doesn't allow you to keep them off balance too much. So he's a pretty good football player along with 97. They're both really good.
Maybe Jalen
Kelce or any kind of long-term?
Yeah, I think Jalen will be, yeah. I think. I mean, we'll see what the MRI says, but I don't think that's going to be great news.
And yeah, I think this is right. I think Roland Wallace only had one half all season before. What does it take for a guy to be in the right place at the right time?
Yeah. So he's a real smart kid. We saw that in training camp. Picks things up easy. He's got a great feel for the game. Had that in college. He was able to transfer during camp. Again, my hat goes off to Veach for getting these guys. So I mean, we're playing a lot of different folks, and the guys are stepping up. So, but Roland he's a good football player. Yeah.
Andy, you guys are the only undefeated team left in the NFL. Can you put that in perspective when kind of considering the adversity, the injuries, and the other challenges that you have?
Yeah, Jared. I mean, we got plenty of room to improve on things. Eventually, guys will start coming back. But the thing I appreciate the most are guys stepping up, and then the other guys trusting them to step up. So, and believing in them, and then the coaches just coach them. Veach brings them in, coaches coach them, and I appreciate that to put us in this spot right here. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but I appreciate the attitude of the guys.
Coach Reed, Patrick Mahomes looked a little bit like a running back on his touchdown up the middle, lowered his shoulder, kind of trucked the guy. Yeah, no, he did. He caught him just right. That guy's a good player and a good hitter. So Pat was able to drop his shoulder on him and get in the end zone. He wasn't thinking it was going to be like that, but he caught him off balance a little bit, and that happened. So yeah.
And you talked about this before, but I assume you prefer Patrick avoid contact instead of sneak it out.
Yeah, especially on those shoulders, but that's all right.
With McCaffrey out and Samuel not used off the leading during the game, is there anything from that Super Bowl game plan that carried over today, or was it pretty much game plan for completely different?
Yeah, I mean they had different stuff, we had different stuff. I mean we're both teams are doing what they do, but I mean there's wrinkles in there obviously for matchups, injuries, and so on. So, but I wouldn't tell you it's just a completely different offense or defense and that. And Kyle's got a lot of guys, man. He's going through that same thing, trying to make sure guys can get in and go. And 2-4 is giving him some real healthy yards there, man, running hard. And so.
The defending Super Bowl champions will look to continue their perfect season next week when they face the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday, October 27th. Although the Chiefs' performance against San Francisco was imperfect, several unsung heroes helped lead the Chiefs to victory in the Super Bowl 58 rematch on Sunday afternoon, including wide receiver Mecole Hardman and rookie defensive backs Jaden Hicks and Chris Roland Wallace. Here are some key facts and post-game notes from Kansas City's latest win, which were shared in a Chiefs media release. Kansas City's defense recorded 3 interceptions of 49ers QB Brock Purdy in this afternoon's game against San Francisco. This marks the 151st game in franchise history that the club has recorded 3 or more interceptions and is the first such game since the Kansas City defense had 3 interceptions versus New England on October 5, 2020. The Chiefs hold a record of 130-20-1 when recording 3 or more interceptions in a single game. After a 33-yard run by QB Patrick Mahomes earlier in the drive, Mahomes finished the drive a few plays later with a 1-yard run up the middle into the end zone to extend the Chiefs' lead to 21-12 early in the fourth quarter. This marks Mahomes' first rushing touchdown since the 2022 season, and his 13th career rushing touchdown, extending his franchise record for rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. RB Kareem Hunt tallied 2 rushing touchdowns in today's game, marking his 6th career regular season game with multiple rushing touchdowns and his 4th such games with Kansas City. He first found the end zone to cap off a 7-play, 70-yard scoring drive to give the Chiefs their first lead of the day with a score of 7-3 with 11:28 left in the second quarter. Hunt's 1-yard touchdown was the Chiefs' first points of the day and his second touchdown in 3 games since being back with the club. Shortly after, Hunt found pay dirt yet again after a 6-yard carry to put the Chiefs up by 11 with a score of 14-3 with 6:51 left in the first half. Hunt finished his stellar afternoon with 22 carries for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns along with 2 receptions for 5 yards. His performance marked the first time a Chiefs player had 2 or more rushing touchdowns in a single game since RB Isaiah Pacheco recorded 2 rushing touchdowns at Las Vegas on November 26, 2023. W.R. Mecole Hardman found the end zone on an 18-yard carry in the fourth quarter to log his first touchdown of the season and solidifying the Chiefs' victory in the Super Bowl 58 rematch with the 49ers. Hardman also returned a punt for 55 yards in the game's second quarter, marking the second longest punt return of his career and the longest punt return of the season for the Chiefs. Hardman finished the game with 110 all-purpose yards, 38 yards on 2 carries with 1 touchdown, 2 receptions for 17 yards and 1 punt return for 55 yards. Noah Gray caught 4 passes for 66 yards in today's Super Bowl rematch, leading the team in receiving yards and tying Travis Kelce for the team high in receptions on the day. The fourth-year tight end's longest catch of the afternoon was a 26-yard reception down the sideline with 8:59 left in the first quarter. With Gray's 66 yards tallied in today's contest, he owns a new career high in receiving yards with his 4 receptions tie his single-game career high. On a 49ers 2nd and 8, George Karlaftis sacked 49ers QB Brock Purdy for a loss of 4 yards and forcing 3rd and 12 and eventually a punt on 4th and 12. Karlaftis had an effective day in today's 28-18 victory, ending with 3 tackles, 2 solo, and 1.0 sack. In the middle of the first quarter, on the first play of a San Francisco drive, Justin Reed picked off 49ers QB Brock Purdy and returned it for 8 yards. This marked Reed's first interception of the season, his second since joining the Chiefs and the 9th of his career. Reed finished the game with a team-high 9 tackles, 6 solo, 1 pass defensed and 1 interception. Rookie CB Chris Roland Wallace intercepted 49ers QB Brock Purdy in the game's third quarter. This interception marks the first of Roland Wallace's career. Roland Wallace finished this afternoon's game with 2 solo tackles, 1 quarterback hit, 1 pass defensed and 1 interception. Rookie DB Jaden Hicks picked off 49ers QB Brock Purdy in the end zone in the game's fourth quarter, which eventually led to an 18-yard touchdown run by W.R. Mecole Hardman. The turnover was Hicks' first interception of his career. He finished the day with 1 pass defensed and 1 interception. When Travis Kelce got the call for grotesquerie, Taylor Swift was on board, series creator and executive producer Ryan Murphy told E! News of the unwavering support the Karma singer has given the Kansas City Chiefs tight end as he embarks on new career opportunities. The only thing that Travis and I talked about was that she's very supportive of him, and if he has an interest, she wanted him to try it, he recalled. I was thrilled about that. While filming, Murphy shared how he only heard sweet, lovely things about the pop superstar, adding, "I love her too." Though Kelce didn't have an acting background. The monster creator revealed that the NFL pro didn't need any tips when it came to his performance. "A star is a star is a star, and he's a star," he continued. "He's so charismatic, and he's so smart, he's lovely," he continued. He had a window of time. He asked me to work up something for him. I did. It was an honor, Murphy added. He went into that knowing it was going to be a little scary, and it was for him. The Emmy Award-winning producer recalled how he rewrote a whole scene that I wasn't liking and Kelce memorized his lines in just 10 minutes, it was letter perfect. Like, he's very, very smart, and he's got something important, he explained. He knew everybody's line. He had a great discipline, and he is everything you want him to be. He's a leader, and so sweet and so charming, first on the set, last to leave, great team around him. If Kelce decides to launch a career in Hollywood, Murphy believes he could be very successful. If Travis Kelce wants to be a big movie star, he could do it. You can see in the show, he can act and he's talented, he continued. The world is his oyster. He can do anything. Grotesquerie airs Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on FX, and can be streamed on Hulu the next day. The formula might look a bit different with the defense and running game carrying the Kansas City Chiefs. But the results are awfully familiar as the two-time defending champions keep knocking off teams, especially the San Francisco 49ers. Patrick Mahomes overcame 2 interceptions to deliver a few big plays with his feet, and the Chiefs remained the league's only undefeated team, beating the 49ers 28-18 Sunday in a Super Bowl rematch. I just don't think it's normal for what you've seen from us because there's not a lot of passing touchdowns, Mahomes said after going back-to-back games without a TD pass for just the second time in his career. There's been a lot of turnovers, especially by me. I think it's just showing the versatility of our team. It's not just about me, it's not just about the stats and the light show and stuff like that. It's about playing team football, and I believe if we continue to work, we'll get better offensively throwing the ball down the field. But until then, it's nice to know that we have a great running game, we've got a great defense, and we're able to execute whenever the time comes to win football games. The Chiefs, 6-0, ran for a season-high 184 yards and got 4 TDs on the ground for the first time since the 2018 playoffs against Indianapolis. The defense did the rest with 3 interceptions against Brock Purdy and the 49ers, 3-4, on a day when Mahomes had his second fewest yards passing ever, 154, in a game he didn't leave injured. Mahomes made his best plays without throwing the ball. He had a 33-yard scramble where he juked D. Winters by stopping near the sideline and then continuing for more yards. That set up a 1-yard scramble on 4th and goal when he lowered his shoulder to knock over hard-hitting rookie safety Malik Mustafa at the goal line. He's just a playmaker, said Kareem Hunt, who ran for 2 scores. Whenever the ball is in his hands, he can make plays with his arm or legs. The stakes and the quality of play weren't at the same level as 8 months ago when Mahomes and the Chiefs beat the 49ers 25-22 in overtime for their 3rd Super Bowl title in 5 seasons, but the result was the same with Kansas City winning its 5th straight over San Francisco, including 2 Super Bowls. The game came with a potentially heavy price for San Francisco. Star receiver Brandon Ayuk was carted off after getting hit on his right knee while making a catch late in the first half. Coach Kyle Shanahan said the team fears that Ayuk tore his ACL. Ayuk's absence proved crucial late in the 3rd quarter when the 49ers were driving with a chance to erase a 14-12 deficit. Purdy threw an off-target pass to backup receiver Ronnie Bell, leading to an interception by rookie Chris Roland Wallace. The Chiefs then turned that into a touchdown thanks to Mahomes' 2 runs. Mahomes finished 16 for 27 for 154 yards and has 8 interceptions and 6 passing touchdowns this season. But that has been enough for Kansas City to become the 10th defending Super Bowl champion to start the following season with 6 straight wins. We didn't do anything really good on offense, Shanahan said. I know he'd love to have all 3 of those picks back. Brock's been playing unbelievable this year. He's done some good things on offense this year, but today wasn't that day. Pearsall's debut. Niners rookie receiver Ricky Pearsall made his debut exactly 50 days after being shot in the chest during a robbery attempt in San Francisco. Pearsall was activated from the non-football injury list and came in for his first play on San Francisco's opening drive. He caught his first career pass late in the 2nd quarter and finished with 3 catches. It meant everything considering all the adversity I went through this past month, Pearsall said. It was really good to go out there with my guys again. His presence was needed since San Francisco played the second half without its top 3 receivers. Jawan Jennings missed the game with a hip injury, Deebo Samuel played only 4 plays because of an illness, and Ayuk got hurt late in the first half. Mahomes completed 16 of 27 passes for 154 yards and 2 interceptions as the Chiefs leaned on the running game to dominate the game. Kareem Hunt rushed 22 times for 78 yards and 2 scores, while Mahomes turned 5 carries into 39 yards and a touchdown. After leading the Chiefs to a 6-0 record, ensuring the reigning back-to-back Super Bowl champions are the sole team remaining with a perfect record. Mahomes displayed a clear willingness to improve. Upon learning he recorded the longest run of his career with the wild 33-yard rush along the sideline in the third quarter. The two-time MVP admitted he needed to improve. "I did not know that," Mahomes told Fox Sports. "I need to get my yards up because 33 is not that long. I ended up just cutting back down the sideline, trying to make a play in a big moment, and we were able to get in the end zone." Mahomes won the game versus the 49ers with his legs as the 33-yard run was followed by his 1-yard touchdown rush in which he sent San Francisco safety Malik Mustafa to the floor with his shoulder. The Chiefs sideline loved the moment as the quarterback resembled a power back trucking his opponent. "We support each other," Mahomes said after being told the Chiefs' defense, in particular, celebrated his truck. "We're a big family over here, and I wasn't even really trying to run them over. I was just trying to get into the end zone. I'm a little heavy, so I got some weight to me." The Chiefs have not been at their best thus far in 2024, while Mahomes has thrown more interceptions than touchdowns during a stuttering start to the season for the offense. And yet, the Chiefs remain the only unbeaten team in the league, which is concerning for the other 31 franchises hoping to wrestle the Lombardi Trophy from their grasp. "It comes from the leadership of the group," Mahomes declared. "Everybody steps up, makes the plays whenever their numbers are called. We do it, we find ways. I mean, it's not always pretty. It doesn't always look the best, but at the end of the day, we're going to find a way to get a win." Former Oregon Ducks and current San Francisco 49ers defensive back Deommodore Lenoir intercepted a pass from Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes in the third quarter of Sunday's game. On a third-down play, Lenoir picked off Mahomes and returned the ball for 33 yards, setting up San Francisco's offense on the Chiefs' 23-yard line. Down 14-6, Lenoir's interception of Mahomes sparked a scoring drive from the 49ers offense, cutting the deficit to 14-12. Lenoir's interception was the second of the game for the 49ers defense. San Francisco defensive tackle Kalia Davis intercepted Mahomes in the first quarter of the game. But the offense was unable to capitalize on the turnover. The Kansas City Chiefs remain the NFL's lone unbeaten team after securing a 28-18 victory over the San Francisco 49ers in Week 7. Despite the absence of all the flashy stats, the Chiefs continue to find ways to win, overcoming adversity week after week. This week's challenge was the passing game, which struggled once again to find its rhythm against a tough 49ers defense. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes threw 2 interceptions, extending his streak to 6 consecutive games with a pick this season. Meanwhile, the receiving corps also took a hit as veteran wideout Juju Smith-Schuster re-aggravated a hamstring injury in the first quarter, sidelining him for the remainder of the game. But the Chiefs showed their resilience, leaning on an elite defensive performance and a strong ground game to get the job done. "I think it's just showing the versatility of our team," Mahomes said. "It's not just about me. It's not just about the stats and the light show and stuff like that. It's about playing team football. I believe that if we continue to work, we'll get better offensively throwing the ball down the field. But until then, it's nice to know that we have a great running game, we got a great defense, and we're able to execute whenever the time comes to win football games." The Chiefs' defense was the key factor in this one. They shut down a San Francisco offense that entered the game averaging 420 yards per game, second highest in the NFL, holding them to just 310 total yards on the day. Justin Reed and rookies Jaden Hicks and Christian Roland Wallace came away with 3 interceptions on 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, 2 of which directly led to Chiefs touchdowns. Kelce was mostly a non-factor in his team's victory, reeling in 4 catches on 5 targets for just 17 yards. The meager stat line marked the second time this season that Kelce has failed to amass at least 20 receiving yards in a game. His only lower offensive output came in Week 2 against the Cincinnati Bengals, during which he caught just 1 pass for 5 yards. As the game transpired, the songstress was gearing up for her Eras Tour performance at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. Since making a surprise appearance at a Chiefs game last September, Swift has attended many of the team's contests over the last 2 years, including Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. In this season alone, she's been in person for Kansas City's season opener against the Baltimore Ravens, win over the Bengals, and Monday Night Football clash with the New Orleans Saints. It wasn't long ago that Kelce appeared to be turning a corner amidst an uncharacteristically slow start to the season. During the Chiefs' wins over the Los Angeles Chargers and New Orleans Saints, the 35-year-old amassed 16 receptions on 19 targets for 159 yards. Defensively, "I thought we just played great football," head coach Andy Reid stated. 3 turnovers against a really good offense that, in some categories, is first in the NFL. Those turnovers led to 14 points, just a great thing. The Chiefs paired their defensive dominance with a physical ground game, racking up 184 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Starting running back Kareem Hunt set the tone with a hard-fought 1-yard touchdown for the team's first score in the second quarter. Kansas City's success in the red zone was a significant key to Sunday's victory. They were 4 for 5 in the red zone, as Hunt described the offense's mentality. "Finishing drives with a physical ground attack, the key is it's a mentality," Hunt said about the team's red zone execution. "Everybody's got to be on the same page. Everybody's got to try to push and finish their guys in the end zone. In that area, you don't want to make too many cuts, you put your head down and drive them." Although Hunt led the team with 78 yards on 22 carries and 2 touchdowns, Mahomes drew the most attention in the run game. He electrified the team with 2 highlight runs, a deceptive 33-yard scramble and a powerful end zone run where he trucked 49ers rookie safety Malik Mustafa for the touchdown. "I actually wasn't trying to lower my shoulder," Mahomes clarified after the game. "I was trying to absorb the hit because I knew I was going to be right there in the end zone. That dad bod man just had enough weight on me where he went down. So, it wasn't like I was necessarily trying to seek out contact. I was trying to absorb it and get in the end zone. It just ended up looking good for me." With this week's victory, the Chiefs improved to 6-0, holding the top spot in the NFL as the only undefeated team. Having said that, Reid knows they can be even better as he keeps his team focused on growth and improvement moving forward. "We got plenty of room to improve on things," Reid said. "Eventually guys will start coming back, but the thing I appreciate the most is guys are stepping up." In his NFL career, Lenoir has 4 interceptions, but the former Oregon Duck had not picked off a pass yet this season. The 49ers drafted Lenoir in the 5th round of the 2021 NFL Draft, and he is playing in the final year of his rookie contract. Lenoir didn't have an interception before Sunday's game against the Chiefs, but he did score a special teams touchdown on his birthday, October 6, against the Arizona Cardinals. The former Oregon Duck returned a blocked field goal for 60 yards and a touchdown. Before the season started, Lenoir recognized the importance of playing in the final year of his contract. His role has continually increased in San Francisco, starting every game in 2023 as well as the first 6 of 2024. Lenoir is playing in the final year of his rookie contract. He totaled 3 interceptions and 10 pass deflections in 2023, asserting himself as one of the better defensive backs in the league. Before the 2024 season began, Lenoir expressed his goals of being recognized as one of the elite defenders in the NFL. "I feel like I'm at the point where I'm trying to be one of the top guys in the NFL as far as the corner position, the nickel position," said Lenoir before the season. "Just somewhere in the top where a lot of people starting to recognize me and remember my name." Through 3 quarters, the San Francisco defense has held Mahomes to a 58.3 completion percentage, but the Chiefs lead 14-12. Chiefs running back Kareem Hunt has 2 of Kansas City's 4 touchdowns, and tight end Noah Gray leads the team with 57 reception yards. While Lenoir's interception led to a 49ers touchdown, San Francisco could not get it done against the Chiefs, ultimately losing 28-18. And then there are times when we're so conditioned to believe that greatness looks like this or that, we don't even recognize when it manifests itself in a different form. take the latest iteration of the Kansas City Chiefs, for instance. At 6-0, they remain the NFL's only undefeated team. They're not the offensive juggernaut we've come to expect from Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes-led squads. There are fewer O's and A's on a given Sunday. And it might look different from in the past. But there's still something special that distinguishes this 2024 team from the rest of the pack and has Kansas City positioned for additional historic accomplishments. The Chiefs met their old rivals the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday, and after a seesaw first three quarters, they did what they have always done in the history of this series, delivered the game-changing and game-defining plays in the clutch to emerge victorious. The final score was 28-18. Which seems to suggest a fairly comfortable margin of victory. But Sunday's showdown featured plenty of harrowing moments for the two-time reigning Super Bowl champions, and not until the fourth quarter when Mahomes shrugged off a pair of interceptions and directed a pair of authoritative scoring drives did Kansas City even seem assured of victory. There's certainly nothing frameable about the final box score, especially when it came to the Chiefs' biggest names. Mahomes, 16 for 27, 154 yards, 0 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Travis Kelce, 4 catches, 17 yards, 0 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt did record 2 rushing touchdowns. But the sledding proved tough as he averaged just 3.5 yards per carry, 22 attempts for 78 yards. Tight end Noah Gray led Kansas City in receiving with 4 catches for 66 yards, but as a team, the Chiefs combined to rush for 184 yards and 4 touchdowns. They converted 8 of 14 third downs, dwarfing San Francisco's 2 for 11 showing. The Chiefs scored on 4 of their 5 trips inside the red zone. Something that has proved challenging for them this season, and dominated time of possession 35:04 to 2400 hours 56. And their defense recorded 3 takeaways, including a fourth-quarter interception in the end zone to snuff out a would-be 49ers scoring drive.